He's coming to get the Roadrunner today. We still have a water leak there. The radiator is leaking and it's going to have to be recored or something. So he's going to take it back home and take the radiator out. They still have a radiator shop over there, and let them rebuild the radiator. And we've got a slow leak on one of the tires, and he said he'd just take it off and have it fixed over there. We found where the hole was, but he's just ready to come and pick it up, so it's supposed to be here after a while, and it runs good. We didn't drive it down the highway. We just ran it in here, but it purrs like a kitten, and we really have no complaints. Everything turned out great. It's purring like a kitten. You're supposed to give us a beep beep. There goes the Roadrunner, the 5th of 5. This is that last 400 block I got in, the 230 casting with the heavy main webs. And it was hot tanked in December, but it was about 3 months before I got back to it. And I've got some flash rust on here that I'm going to have to do something with. I don't have a build plan for this thing yet, but nonetheless, I don't want it to sit around here and keep rusting, so I need to clean it up and get it ready to paint so it won't keep rusting. I've got a little flash rust here, flash rust in the cam tunnel, and some in the lifters. You never want to sand rust out of the lifters. You know, that metal is precious to you, and you don't want to be sanding metal out of there because your lifters are probably already loose enough, and it's not like we can tighten them up. In the old days, you could buy lifters that were a couple thou oversized, and you could hone them and fit them, refit them, and then you're back to new, but we're not there. So I've already done some deburring and deflashing of the block. In a previous video, I checked out the main tunnel, and it was real good. It was a half a thou tighter than the tight spec, which is fine with me because I can put it in the line hone and give it a few strokes, and that should probably put me right there in the range of where it's supposed to be. So that's great, really. But this KBS Rust Blast says it effectively dissolves rust. Well, good, that's what I need. So let's try it. I'm going to follow the instructions just like it says. Spray it on and keep it wet, and don't let it dry, and minimum 30 minutes and 40 to 60 minutes if it's rustier than that. And then wash it off and blow it off, and then I'll have to be ready to paint because you don't want it to sit around and rust, and you don't want to spray it down with WD-40 because you're going to have to paint it, and you don't want to fight with oil like stuff all over your block where you're going to try to paint it. So I've got most everything done that before you do paint. I do have one little problem. The front dowel pins, you know, this block's what, 54 years old or whatever, and these take a little bit of a beating and they get rusty, and people still flip blocks over on the nose and they get banged up. I did get one of them out. That was great with the regular puller. So this one doesn't want to come out, so I'll do what I always do, which is put a nut on there, weld the nut to the dowel pin, and then I took a coupling nut and cut it in half, and then weld that to it, screw in a slide hammer and pull it out with a slide hammer. And it always works for me. Now sometimes my cheap weld breaks, and I have to put it back on there and weld it again because I'm not the world's greatest welder. But I'll get that taken care of and then wheel it outside and go to work on this rust and get it all out of here. Might as well brush out some of these oil passages that are rusty inside anyway, and then get it painted, and then I can put some rust preventative on the lifter bores and things like that. I've got LPS3 and Bow Shield, which is good things to put on surfaces that don't have paint to protect them. But yeah, let's get it, get that thing fixed and then take it outside and clean it up. Not good. Yeah, take that. 3 times, but... Well, I don't think I'm showing it to you good as I want to. I'm trying to show that rust in the cam tunnel that we're trying to get out of here, and some on the bulkheads and stuff. But let's get to work and see if we can make it better. I waited for a cloudy day because they said they don't want this stuff to dry, and I'm afraid the sun would try to dry it faster. In the shade, it'll give me more time. Well, that stuff worked pretty good, especially in the lifter bores, because I had the brush that I could brush them every now and then, wet them again and brush them, and then let it work on it a while, and then come back and do them again. Some spots where I didn't brush, especially on the bulkheads on the bottom, didn't get clean enough to suit me, and I got tired, and I thought I've got to give up. I can't go much longer. So this is hard work because you're not supposed to stop. So by the time you get it set up, it's been an hour, and it was kind of exhausting. So I brought it back in and soaked it down with WD-40. Let me show you the next thing that I've got to work on. This is the number 2 cylinder. I've honed this out 10 thousandths so far, trying to get rid of this rust here, and I'm not getting there. I don't know how much longer it's going to take. I sure hope it cleans up by 20 thousandths. I would hate to have to go 35 for no real good reason, I'm hoping this cleans up. It just got some rust in it from sitting so many years. But it's sure not looking good now. But I need to find out where I'm at. 440 Source makes a 470 kit that is 20 over. And I would like to use a kit like that if I could. I want to save it on 20 if at all possible. I bought this billet aluminum oil pump housing, oil pump without the top plate, from 440 Source recently, and after looking at it a little bit, I thought I should just say something about it. I've never seen a part that was, by the way, I paid my own after-tax dollars for this, and poor 40 Source doesn't know I'm saying any of this. I've never seen a part that the machining looked that good. I don't know who machined it, I don't know who made it, I don't know what's going on, but it's unlike anything I've ever seen. The side looks like a mirror. I thought maybe they polished it. It's unbelievable. Look at the side. It's ridiculous. And the inner bore, that looks like a mirror. I don't know what's going on here. This has not been deburred. That CNC machine went all the way around there like it should do, instead of having somebody hand deburr it. And the same way on the back side. Every bolt hole is chamfered perfectly. Running back. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, I don't know if they're any good. They just came out. So we don't know anything about them. All I'm commenting on is the machine work is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. It's just gorgeous. It uses the rotor size of the Mylodon, that 21814, where the rotor is a 1.1 tall and the OD is whatever that is, 1.62. So it's got a bigger rotor, and that means you use the thinner O-ring around the outside here. But that's the only difference, really. But I just wanted to tell you that it's just beautiful. It's just really, really nice. I used to always want to run aluminum oil pumps because they're prettier. They're sexy. Now that I'm an old geezer, I don't really care so much anymore, and I'm happy running the old cast iron high volume melting. You know, we have to have high volume because everybody wants more clearance nowadays. Everybody's got lifters that are more worn nowadays, so we're just about married to some type of high volume pump. But I don't know if I'll ever run this thing. I just thought I wanted to see what it looked like. They also came up with these billet top plates, and I thought since I was buying the oil pump I might want one of these too. But the big deal about it is, and of course the price is reasonable. This was $199. I think the oil pump was $179. But the big deal is they've got both ports here, because a lot of cars, because of the motor mounts or whatever, you got to come around and get the oil pickup here instead of back here where you would like it, because it kind of points to the pan, makes it a straighter shot. You don't got to use 90-degree fittings or anything. But anyway, I thought since it was sitting here, I thought I'd show it to you. Yeah, I don't like black. I wish they would have been blue, red, purple, gold. Gold would be good. I don't know anybody using gold right now. But, I don't always get what I want. Remember that last one, oil pump that I had, or top plate, and when you put the pump on there, well, I can probably show you here, it didn't fit. It kept, there wasn't a gap here, and it wouldn't fit. So I had to grind on the pump housing. But I've put this together, and it fits. I mean, I put it together with a milling to give it exact, like the last one that was giving me the problem. And this had clearance there, so that's good. That last one, it was a nightmare. All of these holes had to be reamed, and then that didn't fix. I finally got the pump on, and then these holes had to be reamed because they wouldn't line up. It was bad. But anyway, since this was laying here, I thought at least show it to you.